Hi there everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some Evolution Cup battles here from my good friend Kevin. I haven't been able to play this cup at all yet. I haven't had a lot of time, so I was very grateful for Kevin to record these battles for me, send them over so I could showcase them to you as well as do a little commentary over them. Kevin's team is Charjabug in the lead with Vigoroth and Hakamoto in the back. So let's just see how it gets on. Into the first battle here, we've got Charjabug into Haunter. Quite a neutral matchup. Haunter, Glassy deals a lot of damage, will also take a lot of damage back. Kevin decides to no-shield the first one, which is just a Shadow Punch. And then his opponent here catches the Crunch here into his Vigoroth. Kevin immediately swaps into his own Vigoroth to start dealing the counter damage. Tries to go for the CMP tie on the Body Slam, which he unfortunately loses. And we're just letting these go through now, and his opponent decides to let it go, and his Vigoroth is down. Back in comes Haunter. It's quite a weird one because they're both dealing not very effective counters and Shadow Claws to each other. Kevin here does manage to get up to the second Body Slam against the Haunter, but nice timing from the opponent there. Manages to CMP tie the Vigoroth and take him out with the Shadow Punch. Hakamoto now into the Haunter, throws a Shadow Punch there and is now faced with the Celio. Kevin throws one move, switches out into his Charjabug, which obviously does super effective sparks here. Does manage to survive the Body Slam from the Celio and throws off his own discharge before going down to Powder Snows. Kevin now with one shield advantage against the Celio here, takes the first Body Slam, tries to get up to the Brick Break in time, but the opponent gets to the Body Slam first, so Kevin does decide to shield up there. Opponent tries to catch the Brick Break there, but Kevin, with nice patience there, fires off the Dragon Tail and then finishes off the Celio. Into game two, we've got Charjabug into Chansey, the bane of this cup. Super tanky, literally takes forever to take out. So if you want to just go and grab a little cup of tea or coffee while we wait this one out, I wouldn't blame you, or even skipping ahead a wee bit. But Kevin here just doing as much neutral damage as possible. The Zen Headbutt and the Psychics are super effective against the Hakamoto, but in actual fact, they don't actually deal much more damage than anything else. So Kevin is able to fire off as much charge moves as he can, getting the Chansey as low as possible, switches back into his Charjabug now, and the opponent farms up a little bit more and swaps out to Vigoroth. The goes for a Body Slam here. Kevin on the CMP tie goes for Discharge for good neutral stab damage. Opponent decides to shield there, and Kevin throwing another Discharge as the opponent is farming up. Double shield now from the opponent here, which is an interesting play. Kevin can shield up the next Body Slam quite easily and get to the next Discharge before the opponent can fire off their next charge move, dealing significant damage here, and Kevin swaps into his own Vigoroth to farm down the opponent's Vigoroth, but unfortunately the opponent has a Dusclops in the back, which is quite a hard counter to Vigoroth, although not doing a lot of damage sort of super effectively. The Dusclops does have neutral elemental punches that it can throw. In this case, it's going to be Ice Punch, which are quite spammy with Hex, and Kevin can only unfortunately go for Bulldoze, but because shields are down, it does start to add up. And after two Bulldozes, the Dusclops is almost dead. The Charjabug then comes in to try and farm down the Dusclops. The opponent swaps into Vigoroth to try and farm down the Charjabug, but gets farmed down itself. Kevin's then able to throw the Discharge to finish off the Dusclops, and now he's got 3 low health Pokemon against this one Chansey, who is not doing very much damage at all. Throws the Psychic, Vigoroth comes in, gets to the Body Slam, and is able to take out the Chansey once and for all. That was a long one. Into the next one, Kevin's got Charjabug into Vigoroth. Opponent swaps out straight away. Kevin stays in for a little bit and decides to fire off the Crunch, which lands, dealing neutral damage, and he instantly swaps out to Hakamoto to farm down the Dragonair before taking one Body Slam, and very unluckily there, has to take one Body Slam. Doesn't want to go 2 shields down this early. to maintain his switch. In comes the Vigoroth, and Kvin is throwing off the Brick Break now from the Hakamo. Opponent lets it go. Does he get to the second one? He does, just before the Vigoroth can farm down, and the opponent decides to shield this one up. Kvin now assessing his options. He's going to go back into the Charjabug. He's going to let the opponent throw off their Body Slam and then switch out to his Zweilous. And Kvin's got the counter damage of his own Vigoroth now to fire off against this Zweilous. And shielding up the first move here as the sort of last big damage. And is he able to farm down? He is indeed. He farms down the Zweilous there. Back comes the Vigoroth, who can't quite take him out with the Body Slam there. So Kvin's able to get off this, his own Body Slam. The opponent knew at that point that it was pretty much over and just lets it go with a shield left. Into the next battle we go. We've got Charjabug into Celio, Shadow Celio I should say. This is very good for Kvin. He's got these super effective discharges he can throw. Opponent throws a Body Slam before switching out to their own Charjabug. Kvin just about saw that in time and managed to throw the Crunch before swapping into Hakamo, with it being super effective against the Celio that the opponent had there, so he wants his own Hakamo to stay away from that. And it manages to fully farm down the Charjabug, taking a couple of not very effective charge moves. In comes the Celio, fully loaded energy-wise now. Kvin's able to start throwing off these Brick Breaks, which works out really well for him. His opponent decides to shield the second Brick Break there, but a third one is already lined up, and the opponent decides to let that go. And in comes the opponent's Swadloon evolved Pokemon, which is very interesting sort of ABB bug here. But Kvin with 2 shields and a Vigoroth, this is pretty much GG's. He's still got a half-health Charjabug as well, in case there was any sort of doubt there. Opponent just with 1 shield left. I don't think he's going to end up using it, and that's the end of that one. Into the next one, we've got Charjabug into Dusclops, a fairly okay matchup due to the crunch damage, and this is actually a feint attack. Dusclops for some reason, not quite sure why. Kvin here charging up to 2 crunches. The opponent, though, somehow is counting and manages to catch one onto their Vigoroth. Crunch does get the defense drop, and in comes Kvin's own Vigoroth to basically farm down his opponents. Very close either way. Does manage to fire off the Bulldoze straight away though against this feint attack. Dusclops, and just gets to the Body Slam here to get that extra chip damage. Won't do very much, but every little helps, as they say. Back in comes Charjabug to soak up the next charge move from Dusclops, and again the opponent has got his counts on point here, manages to catch the second crunch this time on their Dragonair. Unfortunately, Kvin has a Hakamo in the back, so no shields the crunch, and then has to basically be fully farmed down by the Hakamo. And now with not very much health left on the Dusclops, it's able to go down to Dragon Tail plus Dragon Claw damage here from Kvin's Hakamo. Into the next battle, we've got Charjabug versus Charjabug. Whose Charjabug will reign supreme in this one? So Kvin fires up all the way to the crunch and swaps out to Hakamo to take whatever move it was. This case it was the X Scissor. All moves would be resisted from Charjabug on Hakamo, so it was quite an easy swap there for Kvin. The opponent though is able to then bring in their Vigoroth to start throwing out counters and Body Slams, but Kvin just about hangs on and manages to get to the second Brick Break, which the opponent decides to double shield. So Kvin now with shield advantage and quite a low HP'd Vigoroth in front of him, comes back in with his Charjabug. The opponent there could have thrown a Bulldoze there. That was quite a good no shield there from Kvin. Charging up now to 2 discharges, and he's going to start firing them off at this Vigoroth. 1 to take out the first one, and then the crunch here coming into the Charjabug to deal neutral damage there, and Kvin gets the defense drop there, which is quite good. That means that a second discharge will take out the a second crunch will take out these opponents' Charjabug, which is very good for Kvin. Oh, not quite actually. I thought it was going to do more than that. Now Celio comes in, and Kvin still has his Vigoroth in the back to take on the Celio, which is obviously very good for Kvin with the Counter damage being super effective and body slam being spammy. Opponent though does successfully bait Kvin with the body slam, but unfortunately for the opponent, the Aurora Beam just doesn't quite do enough damage. Kvin's able to fully farm down and fire off the final body slam for the victory. Into the next battle, we've got Charjabug into Vigoroth, a very common line we've got here. Opponent instantly swaps out to Shadow Dragonair. Kvin stays in for a little bit, fires off his first discharge, which in this case was shielded, before switching into his Hakamoto. He's going to shield and try to fully farm down the Shadow. No, he's not this time. He's going to throw the Dragon Claw this time, either forcing that last shield or the opponent will have to let their Dragonair go, which they do in this case. Back in comes Vigoroth. Kvin decides to let the body slam go through. Goes back into his Charjabug. Unfortunately, switch clocks are not quite lined up, so Kvin's having to stay in this matchup probably a little longer than he wanted to, but does get to the crunch. Gets it off, buying his time for his switch clock to come up, so Vigoroth can come in and start countering down these Vilis. Doesn't quite manage to farm him down in time before getting to the second body slam. But Kvin's now fully loaded with 2 body slams of his own to fire off against the Vigoroth. The first one gets shielded, and Kvin firing the second one off straight away. And his opponent now fully farms him down. And does he have enough health left on his Charjabug to get to a move? It's going to be pretty close, but I think body slam plus a counter just takes him out. So a super close one there. Not good plays all around there from the opponents. Into the final game I've got today, we've got Charjabug into Dragonair. Immediate swap out to Hakamoto for Kvin, and his opponent then replies with the Dusclops, Hex Dusclops this time. Kvin now starting to fire off these Dragon Claws after taking the first Ice Punch. Here comes the second Dragon Claw. His opponent no shields this one. And Kvin decides to shield up the Ice Punch here. Is he able to get to the next Dragon Claw? He's not quite, so we'll see what he decides to do here. Does no shield it, which I thought he would. And now in comes the Charjabug again to sort of load up on energy almost. Does he get the fully farm down? Almost gets the full farm down. And does shield successfully the Poltergeist, which the opponent got to. Fully loaded now on energy. Kvin starts throwing crunches at this Dragonair. The first one goes through, second one now coming through. It deals massive damage there, half health that Dragonair there. And the opponent just lets the Dragonair go. He's going full in on one shield and a Vigoroth. Kvin does manage to get to the next crunch here. No debuff there, but he is forcing his opponent to throw. Good timing by the opponent there, getting there before the before he got to the next discharge, but unfortunately there's just probably too much health on this Vigoroth and not enough energy, and Kvin is able to fully farm down for the win. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you again to Kvin for passing on the battles. They were good fun to watch and commentate, and hopefully we'll have some more battles from Kvin and myself soon. If you could please give this one a like, a comment, and hit the subscribe button, that would really help me. I'm trying to get to 200 subscribers as quickly as I can. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.